This is Attack of the Mutant Camels by Jeff Minter, released on the Commodore 64 and being shown on the Commodore 64. This was another game that I played an awful lot back in the day and absolutely loved. Now, right off the bat, I try this tactic and it never works for me, and that is to go to the furthest away llama and start attacking them one by one the other way. Doesn't work because by the time you've killed them all, the one nearest the front has reached the far right of the screen and it's game over. But I stubbornly tried to do it anyway until I realised it wasn't going to work. I don't know why, it's sort of backward logic that I have sometimes with some things. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a very, very simple, straightforward game, but highly playable and highly addictive game too, and just typical Jeff Minter insanity, you know, giant camels attacking with deadly spitballs that they fire at you. You have the sort of standard ones that just shoot, and then you have this one that sort of like moves a lot faster and is like a heat-seeking one that you have to really be careful of. Your ship has so many shields before it blows up, but I think the super deadly one is an insta-death. But yeah, again, it's a very simple concept. Now, if memory serves, I'm pretty certain that this is, how can I put this, a quote-unquote adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back, which came out on the Atari VCS 2600. I've seen footage of that game. Now, my lack of knowledge as to what's going on with that is going to come to the fore. I don't know which one came first, and I have no idea at all if there was any relationship between the two, but I know that they look similar. They have a similar kind of concept to them, except that obviously had the giant AT-ATs instead of camels, which is kind of funny because some people always think that the AT-ATs in profile kind of look like giant mechanical camels. Interesting. But anyway, yeah, again, it's just simple. You shoot them until they change colour and then die, basically. And that's pretty much it. The thing with Jeff Minter games is that plot-wise or sort of detail-wise, they're always exceptionally thin on the ground. You also have to be careful, because these bloody camels can still shoot while they're dying, right up till the point that they disappear. And the number of times I get tagged by one of those spitball things, while I think, well, they're dead and they're gone, and literally a fraction before it disappears, another one will come out, and if you're not careful, it'll hit your ship, and sometimes they'll even fire one of the lethal ones out as well, which can be kind of annoying. So yeah, it's just a very, very simple and straightforward concept. Destroy all the camels and then move on to the next level. Between levels, there is like a little bonus thing where you have to avoid these kind of missile things. The first time I got to that, as you'll see in a minute, I completely cocked up and wasn't ready and got mullered by one of the missiles, which wasn't very pleasant. But yeah, again, just kind of interesting, but then the simplest concepts often provide the most addictive gameplay, and that is often something that can be said. Here you go, you go into the hyperspace, and yeah, straight into it. I just wasn't ready, wasn't paying attention, forgot all about the fact that there was a missile. But you then still go on to the next level, you just don't get any bonus. Yeah, what else to say? I had this similar trouble with Ancipital, really. It was like, yeah, that's it. Again, at the time, You know, Jeff Minter's game's very visually striking. I like the animation on the camel thing. I think that's quite cool. And the no music really to speak of, but the sound effects are really good. I like the sound effects. It's noisy, you know, it's kind of them that has that really loud kind of arcade feel. Yeah, you walk into an arcade and it's like they're all competing to get your attention with being as loud and as possible, and that's kind of a sort of trope with some of Jeff Minter's games. They've got that kind of visual psychedelic and arcade, very loud blasting arcade sounds to them, very reminiscent of sort of early to mid 80s arcades, which a lot of people out there probably don't know anything about or may not even remember, but I certainly do. And it was always those arcades that got your attention, and he kind of did that with a lot of his video games, even though this one isn't as visually flashy as some of his other stuff he's done. It's certainly, you know, I say, it's impressive for its day, and this was an early 80s game. And like I say, the animation's great, the gameplay is great, the sound is, I like the sound to it. You know, it has a very classic early 80s era sound to it. You know, if you like your shoot 'em up, simple, noisy, kind of in your face, it's one of them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I personally love it. I have a lot of fond memories of playing this for hours. Again, that was one of the things with these type of games, it's always that desire to get to the next level, and this time I was paying attention and managed to avoid hitting the rockets. It's not difficult actually. If you're paying attention, it's not difficult, and then you just sort of, there you go. You know, again, kind of that visual impact of it, and then on to the next level, which I probably don't last very long in, because you do have to practice an awful lot to get good at these games, because as you can see, the spitballs start to, just even the standard ones start to get faster. I call them the heat-seeking ones, become insane. And yeah, so that's Attack of the Mutant Camels on the Commodore 64. Thank you very much for watching this video, and check out others on my channel and stay tuned for more to come soon.